These are the most disturbing TikToks that will make you question everything. The breaking news is showing millions of people marching against Donald Trump and the White House in the biggest protest the United States has ever seen, and it's all over the news right now.
It's baby Trump, it's dinosaur costumes, frog costumes, flamingos, papier-mâché heads. This No King's Day has just been very, very silly, and a lot of people are leaning into that silliness. They say that this is helping get the message across in a way that is non-threatening, and it's not just here in Los Angeles. We're talking about across the country, different kinds of expressions of that silliness. One of them is in Houston with the Constitution float, where hundreds of people gathered, and under that "We the People" banner marched down the streets. In San Francisco, the royal theme is drag queens.
Man, this thing looks like a giant Halloween event.
Over the weekend, at least 8 million protesters taking to the streets in a historic nationwide demonstration, according to event organizers from big cities.
This is what democracy looks like.
New York, to Dallas, to Albuquerque, to Los Angeles, to smaller towns.
It's time to speak up. I don't want to be a bystander to this.
3,000 separate events marking No King's Day, protesting President Trump and his administration over what many say are abuses of power from the war in Iran.
I don't see a strategy behind the war other than the finicky whims of our president.
To the administration's immigration crackdown.
No hate, no fear. ICE is not welcome here.
Protesters turning out even in some towns where President Trump won in the last election, like Cass County, Iowa. The protests fueling anticipation for this year's midterm season elections as Democrats hope to take back Congress. Now, there were a few incidents we want to mention in Los Angeles as things turned a bit chaotic there. Dozens of people were arrested for failing to disperse, and some were throwing rocks, bottles, even broken concrete blocks at officers. This is according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. 2 officers were hit and had to receive medical attention.
On stilts walked the streets. And then in Chicago, we saw another baby Trump. In Minnesota, it was a giant megaphone that protesters held up. In Washington, D.C., bobbleheads made out of papier-mâché showing Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and other parts of his cabinet, as well as a pink frog popping out of that crowd. All of this just showing that organizers and protesters have been trying to lean into that silliness to make all of this a little bit less serious.
If you told someone that didn't know what was going on and just showed them these images, some type of wild Halloween night, this is absolutely crazy. I wonder what Trump has to say about all this.
Several No Kings protests planned across the country on Saturday as well. What are your thoughts on those?
What do they call No Kings?
No Kings.
I don't feel like a king. I have to go through hell to get stuff approved. A king would say, I'm not going to get this. A king would have never had the California mandate to even be talking to him. He wouldn't have to call up Mike Johnson and Thune and say, fellas, you got to pull this off, and after years we get it done. No, we're not a king. We're not a king at all.
Damn, look at this disturbing setup they got here. Do you guys see what they're doing? It looks like they got Jeffrey Epstein at the dinner table. How disturbing is that? Speaking about Jeffrey Epstein, did you guys hear about what Bank of America is going to do?
Bank of America has agreed to pay $72.5 million to settle a class action lawsuit from survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation. Court documents accuse the bank of ignoring clear red flags and quietly processing more than $170 million in suspicious transfers, including huge payments from billionaire Leon Black that allegedly helped fund Epstein's crimes. The bank denies any wrongdoing and admits no liability. This is the third major bank payout. JP Morgan paid $290 million. Deutsche Bank paid $75 million, bringing the total to more than $437 million going straight to survivors. No criminal charges have been filed against any bank.
That is a lot of money, and I hope they get every single penny.
Jeffrey Epstein more than $72 million to settle a class action lawsuit. The settlement was filed in a New York federal court Friday, but still requires approval by the judge. Lawyers for hundreds of Epstein's abuse victims say the bank overlooked signs his accounts were being used to facilitate his trafficking operation. A spokesperson for Bank of America denied the accusations, but said the agreement provides closure for the plaintiffs.
What do you guys think about this? Is this be quiet money, or are they handling this the right way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
This is huge breaking news coming in. Russia took multiple satellite images of U.S. military hub, the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, days before Iran attacked. According to the NBC News report, the Russian satellites had taken images of the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia on March 20th, March 23rd, and March 25th, just days before the attack. Moreover, NBC held a physical interview with the President Zelensky today, who told that, "We know that if they make images once, they are preparing. If they make images a second time, it's like a simulation. The third time, it means that in 1 or 2 days, they will attack." The briefing did not include evidence of the Russian satellite imagery or specify how Ukraine became aware of it, and NBC News was unable to verify its accuracy. This is important because Iran attacked the Prince Sultan Air Base, a key U.S. military hub in the region, with a huge amount of missiles and drones today. In these strikes,
how do they know this?
Iranian missiles destroyed the several U.S. aircraft, including the Boeing E-3 Sentry, one of the U.S. most rare and critical airborne early warning systems, including 3 U.S. KC-135 tankers. According to Fox News, at least 15 U.S. service members are reported wounded, with 5 in serious condition, marking a significant escalation in direct strikes on American assets. So now Russia is being drawn into the picture.
And here's something else disturbing. Check out this Russian leaked footage showing Russian troops riding a captured M113 armored vehicle, flying both U.S. and Russian flags. I never seen a tank go so fast in my life. That tank was going like 80 miles per hour, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, what's going on with my boy Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods released from a Florida jail late Friday night, hours after his arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence. This was the overturned SUV golf icon Tiger Woods crawled out of Friday, just moments after authorities say he was speeding and slammed into the back of a pickup truck near his Jupiter Island home.
The individual driving that Land Rover was able to crawl out the passenger door of the car and was identified to be Mr. Tiger Woods.
Damn, I'm glad he's all right. Isn't he like a billionaire? You mean to tell me he doesn't have a personal driver? He's out here taking chances? Man, if you don't have your chauffeur go with you everywhere you go and take you where you need to be, it doesn't make sense to me that he has that much money and is still driving under the influence, if that's true.
Martin County Sheriff John Budenseek says Woods showed signs of impairment and was arrested.
Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew triple zeros, but when it came time for us to ask for a urinalysis test, he refused, and so he's been charged with DUI, with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test.
He said, "I'm not about to melt that cup. Y'all got me messed up."
Neither Woods nor the other driver were hurt. This is the 4th known crash involving the 15-time major winner since 2009, when he was cited for careless driving after he crashed into a fire hydrant.
Do you remember being asleep in the car? You don't?
In 2017, police in Jupiter found him asleep in his black Mercedes.
He's got too much money. You ain't got nobody you can call to pick you up? Call a Uber, Platinum, whatever it's called.
She's stopped in the right-hand lane.
Woods had a hard time keeping his eyes open during questioning. Officers even asked him to try and recite the alphabet. He was arrested for DUI and later pled guilty to reckless driving. And in 2021, Woods was badly hurt in a different rollover crash in California. His leg and ankle injuries so bad, doctors considered amputation. Just this week, his return to competitive golf was looking up after he played in an indoor golf tournament Tuesday, and rumors swirled about a possible return to the Masters. And Woods is also facing charges for property damage and for refusing to take that urine test. Since authorities ruled out alcohol here, they would need the result of that test to know if he was under the influence of something else.
I know that man's insurance is through the roof. But I'm glad to hear he's doing better and going to the Masters. Hang in there, Tiger, man. You can do better. And while we're over here in the U.S. doing this King's protest or King's marathon, whatever it's called, allegedly China's making leaps in military technology, making these AI robot armies. If you ask me, China's looking at everything that's going on and they're like, oh, this is our chance to make some progress while they're busy.
A recent leap in military technology, collaborative combat exercise at a tactical training base, quietly unfolds. This time it's different. Appearing at the training ground this time, domestic language series intelligent combat unit, blended with the mechanical Wolf bionic assault platform.
Oh Lord, that's all we need is to be out here fighting Gundams. And while we're over here having the No Kings parade or whatever it's called, China's been working diligently quiet, making a new robot Chinese army. Is this true or not? I don't know. Let's take a look. They put their own fuel cells in. So when it's getting low on battery, battle mode activated. This would, I mean, if you think about it, America's busy right now. You know, it's at war with Iran. This is the time for them to try to get ahead. Talk about clankers from Star Wars. Doesn't it give you that vibe?
The U.S. just lost a massive lead to China in the race for humanoid robots. Going into March 2026, the global robot race has reached terrifying speeds. America still builds the smartest minds. Tesla's Optimus and Boston Dynamics Atlas have insanely advanced AI. But China is building the bodies. Chinese companies just shipped 10 times more units than the US. A robot like the Unitree G1 now costs less than a used Honda Civic, and it can literally do martial arts. While American robots are stuck testing in labs and warehouses.
Oh man, they trying to replace the factory force. No more temp agency jobs. They gonna replace temp agencies with robot factories. Oh, what type of worker do you need? We got your fork truck drivers, we got our sorters, we got our quality inspection laser scanning new specialist robots that just came in. And all we want is 1,000 a month.
China is preparing to mass export them to your doorstep. It's American innovation versus Chinese manufacturing power. Who will control the future of human labor?
That's actually pretty disturbing. We are living in the Jetsons where we got artificial robots helping us out do daily chores. That's scary though, using one from China. What's stopping it from hitting that switch to turn into the Kung Fu mode optimized? You better not get out of line with that robot while he's doing the dishes. Hurry up and do those dishes. Hurry up and do those dishes. And all of a sudden it snaps a dish and then it starts doing martial art poses. Oh Lord.
America warning, watch.
Pretty cool sorting algorithm. Its job is to turn these packages upside down. And I guess we can just take one. Let's see, we're going to take one of these packages. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, figured it out. Pretty cool. Wait, oh yeah. Sorry about that again. Yeah.
All right, you know he's got Kung Fu in his core memory bank. You better leave him alone, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. You messing with an AI, the next thing you know, it starts glitching out and Kung Fu mode activated.
Also this one. Its job is to flip them upside down. Yep. Yeah.
Elites are no longer hiding this information. They're telling you right to your face, AI is taking all our jobs. While everyone is distracted with World War III, little by little, they're showing us the future. If you didn't know, according to Elon Musk, in the next 5 to 10 years, they will take all our jobs and everything will essentially be free. Even working will be optional. But in my opinion, this is all leading to the mark of the beast, the Antichrist, biblical prophecy. Make sure to share this information with as many people as possible. Let them know the truth. America warning, watch.
But in all honesty though, look at how good of a job this robot is doing. It is literally doing the task. You ain't got to worry about it as someone that owns a company or someone that needs some work done. Look, he's not going to take a lunch break. He ain't going to go hit a cigarette every 15 minutes or go sit on the toilet for half an hour. This is disturbing indeed. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would you work beside one of these? Do you now work beside one of these now? And what are your thoughts? A dancing humanoid robot got a little too funky during a performance in California and had to be restrained by staff after knocking items off a table. I saw him in the background raising the damn roof. Let's see this. It still got soy sauce on his damn hands. They can't control it. Look at her face. Put your phone down, Soo Young. Looks like she's trying to read the instructions, but this robot is causing a muck, to say the least. They need a master off button. You know, it's not like you just can't unplug them or take a battery pack out. You gotta let it finish doing whatever it's doing. They definitely got their money's worth that day. Thank goodness nobody got hurt. When I say we're about to go deep on these waters, this is what I mean. International waters deep. If you're enjoying this content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're new around here, this isn't about size or fear. We're just slowing things down and really looking at what's happening around us. That's what we do on these waters. Now let's dive in.
This is real footage of the most dangerous object humans have ever created, the elephant's foot inside the ruins of Chernobyl. It looks like a lump of rock, but it's actually corium, a molten mixture of uranium fuel, concrete, steel, and reactor parts that fused together when Reactor 4 tore itself apart in 1986. When this mass formed, it was so radioactive that standing near it for a mere few seconds delivered a fatal dose. In those first few hours, the elephant's foot wasn't just deadly to anyone who approached, it was still hot enough chemically and thermally that if it had burned through the foundation and hit the water reservoirs beneath the plant, it could have triggered a massive steam explosion.
Bet you it's still there to this day, wherever it's at.
Soviet scientists warned that the blast would have torn open the remaining reactors and sent an uncontrollable cloud of nuclear fallout across most of Europe, rendering entire countries uninhabitable. The only reason that didn't happen is because liquidators, many of whom died horribly later on, managed to drain the water and seal the lower levels in time. Early attempts to photograph the elephant's foot were catastrophic. The radiation shredded camera film and interfered with electronics, leaving—
Look! It turned him into a phantom. What if this is something different? What if the interference from the elephant foot was doing something else and this photo captured it? Interesting. Drop your thoughts below. Maybe this is some type of interdimensional barrier that's being broke from the radioactive material. But now that I'm thinking about it and looking at this, why don't they send one of them damn dancing AIs in there to take the photos and clean this up?
Warped, blistered images where the object barely looked real. Simply entering the corridor meant almost certain death for the human body. The footage shown comes from 1996, 10 years after the accident, where the radiation had dropped just enough for a brief, tightly controlled visit. but it was still extremely dangerous. By then, the mass was emitting mostly alpha radiation, particles that can't penetrate skin yet become lethal if even a single speck is inhaled. The team used ventilation, masks, and moved quickly, knowing the room was still one of the most radioactive places on the planet. Nearly 4 decades later, the elephant's foot remains where it formed. It's much cooler now, but still too radioactive to touch, too heavy to move, and too toxic to ever be safely dismantled. It stands as a permanent monument to a disaster that nearly poisoned half a continent.
That is actually disturbing. Like I said, they need to send one of them damn robots in there and clean it up, break it up or something.
Amazon just bought a robotics company, Fauna Robotics. They make a 3.5-foot tall humanoid robot called Sprout that costs $50,000. Disney and Boston Dynamics were already customers. Amazon is combining this with their delivery robot company, River, and their warehouse bots from Kiva Systems. They're building a robot army, and they're not even being subtle about it. The truth of the matter, you guys, is that the warehouse worker of the future doesn't have a pulse. But at least it can't complain and can work 24/7 without any breaks.
Definitely doesn't look good for warehouse workers in the next 5 years. But them warehouse jobs ain't easy anyway. I used to work at a Target distribution center, and it's like you're in a panic for 8-12 hours the entire day, sorting and putting stuff in boxes. If you don't hit quota, the boss is gonna come walk down the line and look at you, and you sitting there sweating, dirty, like, oh no, what's my numbers at? You know, are they gonna fire me? You know, it's terrible. I tried working at Amazon, man. They didn't call me. I put in the application and everything. But now I know I really ain't gonna get a job there with all these AI robots working. Look, this is the new robot supposedly Amazon is going to be using.
At Fauna Robotics, we believe the robots belong in the real world. So we've done things a little differently. Sprout is a robot you actually want to be around. One that's expressive, lightweight, durable, soft to the touch, designed without pinch points, and compliant. It's safe, capable, and ready to go.
It looks like all fun and games now.
Sprout is a developer platform for people who want to build, not start from scratch, so you can focus on what excites you and trust the rest to just work. Perception, navigation, and movement right out of the box. Built by our team right here in New York City. A humanoid robot meant to be explored, extended, shared. So that one day robots can live alongside us, around the people who matter most. Sprout is just the beginning of a future built together. What comes next is up to you.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cute, you know, seeing them play like that, you know. Especially for kids that are lonely, that, you know, have like imaginary friends, you know, don't really have a lot of people to play with. You know, in a sad way, this kind of fills that gap, unfortunately.
Hey y'all, so I am at Amazon's most advanced fulfillment center in the world. And basically that's a place where all the packages that you and I buy, they come from here before they get sent out into the world. The reason though why it is so advanced is robotics and automation. I want you to meet Proteus. All right, that's this little guy right here. You see his eyes. So Proteus is able to take packages and sort of these carts that you see right here, it can transfer it all over the facility so the humans don't have to carry all of that weight. And Proteus is actually quite fast. We're gonna follow him for a little bit. Woo!
I wonder if you'll get written up if you jump on top of it and ride it to your next station.
All right, here's the really cool thing. Proteus knows if I'm in front of him. See, he's gonna stop. See, he avoided me. Pretty cool.
That sure beats a damn pallet jack breaking your damn back. It's that time of the day again. If you thought you weren't going to get another excellent specimen today, think again. All right. This is actually a very nice piece. You can see the the frostiness of this species, the specimen, and look how it changes colors. It was originally green and brought out like that kryptonite and completely transformed into like this glacier mountaintop. Very extraordinary. This is in the 9s again. We've been in the 9s a lot lately. I look for really good pieces too, so it's not like I'm just throwing anything to y'all. But again, this is, if I'm gonna have to rate this, it's gonna be around a 9.5. You know, it's a crazy piece. A 9.5, and I'm gonna name this the Chameleon Dragon Tail. Drop your name and the rating in the comments below. So today we covered millions in the street, talking about the No Kings parade, Donald Trump in the White House in Iran, AI moving faster than anyone can keep up with. I'm not here to tell you guys what to think or believe. I'm just showing you the information. Stay sharp and keep your head on a straight swivel. China possibly building AI armies. My man's Tiger Woods, fresh out the Younie. All types of crazy stuff happening in this world every single day. Sign up for darkwaters9.com is available. Join the waiting list so when the site drops, you're the first to see it. And the code word for today is AI Army. Go ahead and drop AI Army in the comments below. These are the most disturbing TikToks that will make you question everything.